You need to stop getting so down on yourself when every single morning you don't hit every single goal to a T. It is just crazy and bizarre. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Gogan if you are new, and if you are new, don't forget to subscribe because it's a good time over here. Also, don't forget I have a podcast, the Glow Up Secrets podcast, which will be linked in the description, along with my Instagram. If you want to see what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, my stories is where it's at, and all my other links will be down in the description. Okay, we need to talk about having a soft life while still having discipline. I get questions all the time from you guys when it comes to balancing masculine and feminine energy, or having a soft life but also still getting shit done in your life. Can we do both? How do we balance both? And as someone that is a very big self-improver, somebody who has worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs at once, I have learned the art of staying disciplined while still living a soft life. Now, I want to say that for the past year, I've really stepped into living more of a softer life, but I've still worked 2 jobs. I've still gotten a lot of shit done. I still have a lot of goals to accomplish. I have a lot of things on my plate, but I've been doing them a lot differently this year. I've been the most successful I've ever been. I feel the best I've ever been. I feel way less stressed. I love myself more. I take care of myself more in a way that is so much more balanced than I used to. So we need to talk about that, but I just came from Whole Foods, so I'm going to put away my food as we are talking. So one thing that I've realized in the past year is that I have been living in, let's say, a patriarchy society. I have been living in capitalism. I have been operating out of a lot of different traumas, and I've realized that I'm a overworker. And I've been like that majority of my life. I've been super into self-development for the longest time, and although that helped me become disciplined, that helped me hit certain goals, it also created a lot of stress, a lot of self-hate, a lot of ailments coming out of a place of overly stressed and overworking and overproducing. We have some grass-fed milk. By the way, I got everything from Whole Foods. I'm a Whole Foods girly. Spring mix. We love a good spring mix. I honestly don't want to show you guys my fridge right now because it needs to be cleaned out. I should probably do that. Ground beef. I get a big thing of ground beef from Whole Foods, and then I'll just split it up and put it in separate bags so that way it's not too hard, because I'm not gonna cook all of this in 1 week. It's just me living here by myself. Sockeye salmon, truly, 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 you need to get some and try some, but it needs to be wild caught, okay? It is the best thing on earth. I literally love salmon. Frozen blueberries. We love frozen blueberries, and you wanna know why? It's because I have a yogurt bowl all of the time. If you do not follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't know, but I have a yogurt bowl all the time, and I always put frozen berries in it. So once I started to realize that I was operating out of a very fight or flight nervous system response in life, trying to make a lot of money, trying to be successful, trying to be valuable, trying to fix myself, trying to use self-improvement to cope in a lot of ways, I realized that obviously that wasn't working for me. And I feel like with most women, we're starting to wake up to the fact that we have been living in our masculine energy for a long time. And this can be because of trauma, like I just said. It could be just because of society that we live in. It's predominantly built around supporting a male body, in my personal opinion. And we're starting to realize that it's not working for us. And welcome the rise of the soft life. Now, I'm gonna just tell you, in my opinion, what I think the soft life is, because I feel like on the internet, we have it a little bit skewed. We really focus on aesthetics, we focus on luxury living, we focus on not working, not stressing, just being in our feminine energy. And now listen, I am all for that. I am all for a good soft life aesthetic. But I feel like the reason why I get so many questions about how to balance both, and I need to still work and do these things, like how do I have both, is because some of us don't understand that just because you live a soft life doesn't mean you throw away your masculine energy. It doesn't mean you throw away your goals. It doesn't mean you don't work. It doesn't mean that you have to live a certain aesthetic lifestyle. Living a soft life is truly honoring the fact that you are a human being that needs balance. You are a human being that needs to integrate some energies within you that you might have been suppressing, which for a lot of us females have been our feminine energy. And that's because we've had to work all of our lives. Maybe we didn't have good parents. We've come from different traumas. We have all of these things going on in our lives that create this overly masculine identity. And so adopting a soft life is going to actually be very unique to you. And honestly, you could have a very luxury life. You could have a lot of money. You could have somebody who's providing for you, which a lot of women also think that being able to live a soft life means like you have to have a man to pay all your bills and stuff, which is, that's not what it is. But when women think that, they think, okay, well, I can't live a soft life. But truly, what living a soft life is learning how to reintegrate the parts of you that you have suppressed, that you and society have denied, that you haven't been embracing. Living a soft life is a state of being. It's a way of thinking. It's honoring your body, it's slowing down, it's living more of a stress-free life depending on what that is going to look for you. It's essentially not living in your nervous system state of fight or flight. So bringing it back to this whole soft life trend, a lot of us are confused now because it's like, okay, I know I've been living in my masculine energy, but now I need to incorporate more of my feminine energy. I need to be more feminine in relationships. I need to, you know, like live a stress-free life and not work so hard and not do all these things. But then we feel stuck because it's like, okay, well, I know in my mind I need to live more of a softer life, but tomorrow morning I still need to wake up and go to the gym and go to work and hit my goals and show up for my family, my relationships, my friends. I have to do all these things. So what do? Can I even have it? I literally am confused. So we're gonna talk about how you can balance basically your masculine and your feminine energy and live more of a soft life while still getting shit done. Okay, let me put away the rest of my groceries really quick with you guys before I get in to how to actually balance these energies. I am actually the worst at multitasking, I've realized. So we're just gonna know that on this channel and we're just gonna run with it. Got some bananas. I'm gonna put that over there in a bit. I'm just gonna leave some of this stuff out. Actually, you know what? One thing that really helps me when it comes to eating healthy, because that's also a part of just like improving yourself and taking care of yourself, right? Is I used to be like a chronic dieter. I don't diet anymore. If you want to hear my whole story on how I got my dream body and how I fixed my relationship with food, I will have this linked up here and down in the description. But I no longer have a strict diet. I don't count calories. I don't think about it. My mind is not consumed with food the way that it used to be. Again, please go watch that video if you want to know how I think and feel about food now. But depending on what's going on in my life, I still like to prep some things. So like the bell pepper that I have, these are already pre-cut, but like what I'll do is I'll pre-cut some of my veggies and I'll just have them in my fridge so that I can make like some breakfast in the morning, saute some vegetables, have some eggs, and be on with my day. But I'm not like meal prepping to the point where everything is super strict and I have to wake up and I'm forcing myself to eat certain things, because every day is going to be different and we're going to talk about that. Also, 2 essentials for my yogurt bowl that I have like every day is dark chocolate chips. They're insane, so good. I put that in, and some granola. Now I usually get a different granola. It's like this is a vanilla flax granola, but usually I get like a pumpkin flax. For me, it doesn't really matter. I kind of want to learn how to make my own. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, in the wintertime I feel like I have more time to cook and learn things, so I feel like I want to do more of that, but I digress. Also, honey, I'm addicted to honey. I put honey in my plain Greek yogurt instead of getting the yogurts that are like pre-made with artificial sweeteners. As you guys will start to see on my channel, I eat as healthy as I possibly can, but still not restricting and dieting. I'm very much so into like holistic health, but I still know that I don't need to obsess over every single piece of food, and I can eat pizza if I want to. Anyways, honey I put in my coffee, I put in my yogurts, I literally put it in everything. It's truly an addiction and I don't really care that it's addiction. Okay, a last few things before we get into the tips. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. Pasture raised eggs. They're so good. Okay, I don't know if you guys are into like a lot of health and wellness stuff, but you can tell the difference between eggs that are just like low quality eggs versus pasture raised, free range eggs. If you see the yolk, the really nutritious eggs are literally, the yolk is literally orange versus some eggs, they're literally yellow. It's insane. Now, this is not to like make you freak out if you can't afford higher quality food, but the difference is truly insane. Okay, I also got one avocado. Another tip for like grocery shopping, if you need it, which is, this is not the video for it, I just get like one of everything. I used to always buy multiple items of like, I would buy 3 zucchinis and like 3 bell peppers and a million like tomatoes, and I would always waste them. Like, why am I buying so many things and not eating them? Okay, I put away my groceries. Let's get back to it. I have some of my notes here just to make sure that we're on track. So when I realized that I wanted to live a soft life, but realized also that I still needed to get shit done, I had to tell myself a new story. I had to tell myself a new story in order to actually have this balance of masculine and feminine energy within my life and really create a balanced life that feels good to me and that I'm still getting shit done, but I'm also enjoying my life. So here's a few things that I've learned and have had to tell myself in order to create this new reality for myself. I had to realize that both energies within me is very important. Feminine energy, the creative, the expressive, the relaxed, the receiving, the soft, the healing, the emotional body, and the masculine part of me, which is the structure, the containment, the direction. These are both very important energies within me. You can't really have one without the other. If you were to be in your feminine energy at all points, which a lot of people think that that's what women who live a soft life do, sometimes you can just become really chaotic. You aren't getting your bills paid because you're not working. You're not really even on purpose with anything because maybe you're just so focused on material items, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. If that's what you want to do, then you can do that. But I think we hear this a lot. Like, some of us might think that if we won the lottery, if we won a bunch of money, we would just like go on an island and live there forever. But then that would get old. And you have to ask yourself, like, why would that get old? Is because you're in one energy, you're in one state of being. You are a being that has both energies within you. Even if you don't want to talk about energies that way, like, you're a human being, you need to experience life, you need to help others, you need to be a productive part of society in certain ways. You might have a family, you might have relationships, like, you have all these things going for you. So to be in one state, it doesn't even really make much sense. Another thing I had to be really real with myself and tell myself was that I have been learning how to self-develop and how to hit my goals and how to be in my masculine energy from masculine males. Now, it's not a bad thing that I've learned how to be masculine from masculine males, because where else would you want to learn how to get shit done if not from somebody who gets shit done all the time? And also, I'm not saying if you're in your feminine energy you can't get shit done. We're separating the two just for a moment in time here. But I find a lot of us women, we learn how to create our routines, we learn how to eat, we learn how to go to the gym from males. And it works for males a lot of the times because they run off of different hormonal clocks than we do. So they can wake up in the morning, and this is not a blanket statement, I know some men can't do, like, there's definitely variables within this, but their hormonal clock basically is the same every single day. So they wake up at a certain time, they kind of feel the same. Their hormones are at a certain level around the same time every single day. And they wake up, they can go to the gym, they can go to work. By the time that they're done work, they're slowing things down. They might have some energy to go to a happy hour. They come home and they wind down. And I'm not saying that us women don't do the same, because majority of us do, but the thing that a lot of us have not been educated on and not been told and taught, and society is not really built around this, is that we also run off of an infradian rhythm, aka we have a cycle. So we go through different phases through the month, every single month, and our hormones fluctuate, which means when we wake up in the morning, sometimes we have lower energy than other days. Sometimes we have more energy than the other days. Sometimes our moods are gonna be super affected, and sometimes we're just gonna wake up and feel like we can just do it all. Tell me right now in the comments that you have not been somebody who every single month you feel like you're rebranding your whole life, or you feel like you're stepping into a new era once a week, or you have all these goals one week and then the next week you want all these other goals, like you want to do all these other things. Now there could be a lot of reasons why you're all over the place. One of them being that you might not have a lot of masculine structure within your life to stay on track, which is what happens when you're in your feminine energy a lot of the time, especially wounded feminine energy. But you have to look at your own life and realize, okay, I don't wake up in the same mood every day. I don't wake up with the same energy levels every single day. When I'm menstruating, I literally wake up, I've done nothing different. I wake up in the morning and I feel exhausted, even though I've done nothing differently. It's the fact that I'm in a certain phase of my infradian rhythm. Now, before I go any further, I do have a video on your infradian rhythm and cycle syncing, so you can understand that more if you are interested. I think I'm gonna make an updated video as well. Now, if you're on the birth control pill, you take your ability to go through these phases off the table, which in my mind, and I've been on birth control, I used to be on it years ago. In my mind, I think that I'm not gonna make you feel bad for being on birth control, because I know there's a lot of reasons why people need to be on birth control. Like I'm honestly not putting it down, but it's like we are taking away something that is so natural to us as women for a lot of reasons. A lot of the times we're trying to fit into society, we're trying to work. Sometimes we use it for skin because we have to go into the workplace every single day and we don't want to feel insecure. Sometimes we are using it so that we don't get pregnant and we're, let's say, maybe we're indulging in hookup culture, or maybe you're in a relationship, whatever the case is, but it's just like we try and fit and do a lot of things that are not natural to us as women, and it's for good reason. We're trying to survive, we're trying to live. But if we're feeling sick, if we're feeling like crap about ourselves when we don't wake up and we don't feel motivated to do something, instead of honoring that part of us and honoring the fact that we're different, what we just do is we get down on ourselves. We tell ourselves that we're failures. We get really hard on ourselves. So I personally think when it comes to living a soft life is honoring the fact that you're a feminine being, that you fluctuate throughout the month with your hormones, that every single day is going to be different. And again, this can be like, men are going to experience some of this as well because they also have feminine energy within them as well. But it's really realize, like, I really had to tell myself a different story in terms of how I'm trying to discipline myself. I am done waking up every single morning and telling myself I need to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym and eat this certain meal and go to work, come home, do the same thing every single day. It doesn't work for me. Does it work for you? Have you tried it? How many times have you tried to do a very strict morning routine and you failed? How many times have you told yourself, okay, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m., I'm going to put on a podcast, I am going to get up with all this energy and I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna do my 12-step skincare routine, I'm gonna eat a perfect cooked, balanced meal, and then I'm gonna head to work. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, holy fuck, I'm not doing any of that. Why is that? A lot of the times it's because we are putting too many things on our plate. We are disciplining ourselves way too much. And honestly, I'm going to say right now, I have a lot of faith in you guys and even in myself to know that we are not lazy women. We don't sit around all day and do fucking nothing. If you're watching this video right now, I know you get shit done in your life. So if you're somebody who is getting shit done on a week-to-week basis, on a month-to-month basis, you need to stop getting so down on yourself when every single morning you don't hit every single goal to a T. It is just crazy and bizarre. And what you end up doing is stressing yourself out. And when you stress yourself out, what happens? Your cortisol levels go up, you start to create inflammation in the body, now your skin is all bad, now you're holding on to weight, you're bloating, you're stressed out, you're acting out in your relationships, you're irritated with the smallest things, you're doing all these things, you're reacting to all of these circumstances in your life, and you're not helping yourself when you're disciplining yourself so hard. It's time to throw out the model of looking at every single day as the same. Every single day is not the same. And you need to get out of your head and stop telling yourself that you need to have everything a exact certain way in order for you to be successful. This goes back to my video that I made, which I'll link up here, about how you are the only one that's making life hard. And if you wake up every single day and you feel stressed and you feel like everything is a struggle and you just so much discipline and you're trying to get to your goals because you're a great woman or man and you're really just, you want more for your life, but at the same time it's like, it's a struggle. Why is this so hard? It's because you're making life hard, and you're making life hard for good reason, because you have been taught that you should be hitting your goals a certain way, that you should be thinking a certain way, that you should be treating yourself a certain way, but this certain way clearly is not working. This certain way is heavily influenced by masculine males, which again, I love men. We love men over here on this channel, but they have their place in time. I am somebody that looks at myself as a female, a biological female. I am biologically different than males. I need to support myself and my hormones in different ways. I need more sleep sometimes than not. I have more energy to work on creative projects some weeks than not. I need more food some weeks, especially when I'm menstruating, than not. I also have different interests. I like pretty things. I like aesthetic things. I like to chill and relax and just be. And it feels really aligned to me to live in flow, to wake up every day and get to decide that life gets to be easy, get to decide whether I want to go to the gym today or go for a walk or just relax this morning and not bag on myself for when I decide to just relax in the morning. And this is what I've come to realize, because you might be thinking, okay, well, if I let myself be more in my feminine energy, then I'm gonna slack on my goals. When you stop restricting yourself so heavily, what ends up happening? There might be a period of time where you indulge in that food, right? Like, let's say you're trying to not restrict and not diet, and then you go into intuitive eating. There's that lag period where you still overindulge, but then you come back into balance. Why? Because you're not restricting yourself. So I got to a point where, because I was living so much in my masculine energy, I was grinding, I was working every single second. When I was trying to honor more of my feminine energy and relax and put down my laptop and put away my work and just be and just like watch a show one day, or just like go out and have fun and play and have a good time and not be so serious in my head, I had a voice inside my head, this masculine voice being like, you shouldn't be doing this right now. But I stopped listening to that voice and I allowed myself to play and have fun, and that voice still would be like, you're doing too much, you're being too much in your feminine energy, you're not looking at all the things that you need to do and you're not doing them, da 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 da. But after I gave myself some time to just not be so stressed out, not be such a stressed individual, I ended up naturally going back to hitting my goals, and it became easy. Thinking about getting up and hitting your goals doesn't feel like so hard because you have balance in your life. You know that you can take a break. You know that your whole week doesn't need to be packed with things because you're allowing yourself the room to relax and have balance. Another thing that I think is really important for you to change what you say when it comes to like discipline. Instead of saying you need to be really disciplined, think about the fact that you need to support yourself. So let's say you want to start a healthy eating journey, or you want to go to the gym more, or you want to start having a planner, like a weekly to-do list, and you want to get some more things done. Look at all of these things from a place of support. You're supporting yourself on this journey to becoming the best version of yourself. And instead of telling yourself you need to be disciplined, like you need to do these things, like the need and the discipline and the masculine, that really hard masculine energy that we have from that voice in our head, it's just not helpful, and then we don't want to do it. And again, this goes back to that video that I made about life gets to be easy. Life does get to be easy. decide that it gets to be easy. Decide that going to the gym gets to be easy. Decide that meal prepping gets to be easy, and think about the ways that these things support you instead of make you miserable. And I get a lot of questions about like step by step, how do I literally balance both of these things? And the truth is, your life is going to look different than mine. I'm currently working 2 jobs right now. One, I'm a bartender / server, and I'm doing social media, and I'm honestly doing both full time. I'm actually leaving my job in a week, which we'll talk about that probably on the podcast in a little bit. But knowing my structure in my days, I had to work around my schedule. So there were days that I just knew there was no way that I was gonna be able to get up and go to the gym. So why am I stressing myself out and telling myself that I need to go to the gym? It's just not gonna work. You can't just do everything. This is not to deter you from not going to the gym, but again, your lifestyle is going to look different. So you need to do what you can. Don't force yourself to do all of these things if they're stressing you out. If you're waking up at 5 a.m. and you're going to the gym, stressing yourself out, forcing yourself to eat the same meals every single day, going to a job that you hate, and then coming back home and then working a second job, or just like doing things that you're in your mind, you're telling yourself that you're self-improving, but how is your energy state? Are you miserable? Or do you feel stressed? Are you constantly thinking about the gym and how much food you're gonna be eating and how you're not gonna be able to go out on the weekends because you have to work and do all these things? You need to always bring your awareness back to how your body feels, how your nervous system is, the things and the thoughts that you're thinking, and how you're talking to yourself. Because if you're talking to yourself in a way of like dictating yourself at all times and you're being really hard on yourself, then that's not really living a soft life. What I've also learned is instead of acting on my emotions, so let's say I wake up feeling sad because of something that happened last night, I actually don't even give those emotions too much attention. So I don't let that change whether I'm gonna go to the gym or not, or change whether I'm going to take care of myself or not. I'm just like allowing myself to feel. I'm accepting the fact that today I'm not going to feel 100% ready to go to the gym, but I can still go because I know that helps me and that supports me. But also some days I might wake up emotional and I'm realizing like the gym is just not gonna be for me today, and that's also okay. Like I've created this voice inside my head that just allows me to be. Allow yourself to be. Stop being so hard on yourself. And if you're really new to trying to figure out how to get things done while still living a soft life and living a stress-free life, you kind of need to become very self-aware of your patterns. Like, are you somebody who only gets motivated like 3 days out of the freaking month? And if that's the case, then why not try to plan your weeks or whatever you have going on around the days where you know you're gonna be a little bit more motivated? Or if you can project into the next month, like, okay, this next month I'm going to be going through something a little bit harder, or for me, like, I know when I'm gonna get my period, so I'm not really going to be planning a lot of things around that time because I know that I'm gonna be probably a little bit emotionally on the rocks and I need to slow things down. This is why it's so good to know about your cycle. And again, if you are on birth control, you're not really going through these phases, but I think it's still important for you to learn this as a female. You can still live cyclical, like you can still pick up some of these traits and just slowing things down some weeks that you would be on a certain phase. But the biggest thing for me is I am very aware of how I am feeling. I am very aware of what is going on in my life, what's going to be happening in the next few months, where I'm at with my career, what I need to get done. I feel like a lot of us, we know what we need to get done. We just like don't really know how to add that and get things done, like actually take the action. And I think a lot of the times we struggle with taking action because either our goals are not aligned, either we're being way too hard on ourselves. We're either telling ourselves to do the exact same thing every single day, which then we wake up and we can't really execute because some days are just not the day. And then instead of just moving forward and being like, okay, I can do a video the next day, what we do is we get so down on ourselves and we criticize ourselves, and then we tell ourselves, okay, tomorrow I need to go even harder, and then that just is even worse. And then we get into these cycles and we wonder why we're not getting anywhere. It's because we're trying to be perfect, we're trying to have this all or nothing thinking, we're operating out of very much so fight or flight, And we need to realize, what I've realized as well, is that it doesn't work. If you are somebody that goes to the gym for like 2 weeks and then for the rest of the month you don't go, like, you need to start asking yourself why. Some days you're gonna be in your feminine energy, some days you're gonna be in your masculine energy, some days you're gonna wanna just chill, some days you're gonna be able to just get shit done. Learning about your cycle, creating a to-do list or a weekly to-do list or like a monthly to-do list that is still loose and allows you to take some time off is going to be really important. And becoming really aware of the inner dialogue that goes on in your head, which happens at all moments, is so crucial when you're trying to live more of a soft life but get shit done. You need to give yourself permission to live your life. What is the point on you self-improving and being so disciplined if you are miserable, if you can't show up in your relationships, if you have an unbalanced lifestyle, if you are so chronically stressed out? And another really important thing to do, especially if you're a female, is to educate yourself on the fact that you are a female. You are biologically a lot different than men, and you can use that to your advantage. Tapping into my intuition, slowing things down, loving myself more, accepting myself, telling myself I don't need to be perfect, honoring my nervous system, becoming aware of when my thoughts are creating a lot of stress in my body, and taking a step out of whatever I'm trying to focus on and regulating my nervous system, which you can do by meditating, which you can do by doing some breath work, which you can do by doing guided meditations or journaling or just inner dialogue. These are all things that are going to allow you to feel like you're living more of a soft life. Don't be afraid of not hitting your goals. If you watch my videos, you hit your goals. You get things done. There's gonna be days, weeks, or even months where things in your head are not super aligned and you're gonna tell yourself that you're not getting things done, but you have to realize, like, this is life. You are a human. You go through emotions. You go through phases of life, death and rebirth. Like, there's so many things that are going on, especially as a feminine woman, that you need to just allow yourself to be okay with that. Be okay with fluctuations. Be okay with the fact that some months you're gonna get more things done than the other. Allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to get things done, and become very aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, the inner dialogue that you have, and how you're perceiving the world. A video that I think is really important for you to watch after this one is my video on how to stop criticizing and judging yourself. This really talks about perfectionism and that all or nothing thinking and that inner dialogue, that inner voice in your head. That video is going to be linked on the screen. Please go check that out, and don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on all my social platforms. Everything will be linked down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.